to another Insider. I hope you had a wonderful week and you're ready to talk translation. This week, I'm talking about a subject that I know that when I was taking my course was discussed and something was said at the time, but I think times have changed and maybe we can rethink the way we do things these days. And maybe what I was told more than 20 years ago may not be 100% applicable today. I'm talking about having a blog on your website. Is it important? Should we have it? Should we not? When is relevant to do so? Or when can we just reconsider and do it differently? So come with me and let's talk about having a blog on our website and how we can maintain that blog and how we can do things differently if we wish. Come with me. So if you have a website, which I believe you must have, I spoke about that last week and I have said this many times, I think it is important that we have a website. Is something that I believe it's important for any business, and of course our business is no different. But that's not the subject for today. Today it's about a website. I remember when I was taking my course, we were talking about a website. Obviously, we were talking about producing content for that website and that producing articles, because obviously we had to have our website in the languages that we work with. Another recommendation that I always tell my mentees and my students, you need to have your website translated in all the languages you work with, because you're going to have clients in both of those languages. And when you build your website, if you had or if you have a blog where you publish articles regularly, that will help your clients to see your skill in translation, etc., etc. Well, we all know times have changed and things may not be exactly that way, because these days everybody knows you can hire someone to take care of your website, you can hire someone to take care of your marketing campaign or your business or whatever you might need. So the reality is things work slightly different than they were, let's say, 5 odd years ago. So, should we have a website? Yes. Should we have a blog on our website? It depends. Well, if you are a content creator and you want to showcase your copywriting skills, for example, if you are a copywriter, then it might make sense that you include a blog in your website. But again, if you can maintain that regularity, because you need regularity to keep that blog going on. If you don't publish regularly, if you don't have articles to maintain and keep that blog going, then there's no point. So you must think that if you may not include it, it's fine if you don't, but if you do, you need to understand that you need to have content for that blog. You need to include content regularly. That may be weekly, that may be fortnightly, that may be monthly. You choose whatever time suits you best, but once you make that decision, you have to stick to it. Now, when you know that you can produce that content, then it's relevant to have it. If it's becoming more and more overwhelming for you, because remember, you are a translator, that's your main activity. So if you want to work, you need to put that work as your first priority. And if you're going to spend 3, 4, 5 days to build an article or to do all of these other activities, then you are taking that time away from your billable hours, which is not ideal, which is not good. And if you don't really have a blog in your website, I don't really think today would hurt your business that much. And the reason behind this opinion and this change of mind is because today people look at things on social media. I do have a blog on my current version of my updated Words website. However, I am considering taking it off in its next version because I do think it's becoming too overwhelming. I have these 2 YouTube channels. I produce other articles. I have my school, as you know, and it gets to a point that it's too overwhelming. And if it becomes too overwhelming, it also interferes with your creative process, and you might end up stuck. You know you have to publish something, but because you have that obligation, you know you have to publish something, sometimes that will interfere with your creative process and you end up stuck with nothing, with a massive blank that you can't produce. You cannot produce any type of content, and that's no good. So you need to, first of all, see its importance, see if it's really important, if it's really relevant, if you really need it there, because if you don't, you have other ways to compensate that blog that you can also showcase your skill and showcase what you can do in case you are a copywriter, a translator, whatever you might be, and whatever you might want to do for your website and for your marketing campaign, because everyone has a different idea. And you may decide that for your company, you decide to go with a particular marketing campaign that might be a little bit against the odds, a little bit against the grain, and you might do it differently. Well, that's how trends start, quite frankly. Sometimes someone thinks outside the box, comes up with something new, and then it works, everybody follows. So you might just be one of those. So it's fine, it's perfectly fine. You don't really need to follow everyone. I, for one, tend not to follow everyone. I think if you start following everyone, you become a little bit more of the same. If you think a little bit outside the box, if you make your own decisions, and you are creative enough to stick to those decisions and come up good in the end, then that's the secret. That's what I believe. That's my truth, and I'm sticking to it. So I think, for example, if you are a copywriter, you may want to showcase that skill. So it might be relevant to have a blog on your website with articles that you publish every week. But there's also other ways. For example, LinkedIn allows you to have articles published there. So you can publish a good article and publish it on LinkedIn, and maybe then share it on other platforms. You can have another blog out of your website. There is a lot of options that you can have that does not include that blog being on the website. You can use the website strictly for your business, for what you do, the presentation of your company, etc., etc. A lot of companies do have a blog. Usually, for example, with airlines, they use it. There's the press release part where they actually put the articles about their product, and the articles for the airlines, and other companies would be the press releases that they release. So it's a different model. So I don't think you will be releasing press releases per se, because obviously we are not in that space that we need to release to have press releases published every week or whatever it might be. But we can have articles that we write. Again, remember, your clients don't want to know about translation. So don't write about translation thinking your clients are going to be interested in it, because they won't. They don't want to know how you do your job, or the the specificity of your job and whatever, they do not want to know about that. They're not interested. So if you want to attract clients, you need to write about what clients do, what clients know, and what clients want to read about. That is usually your specialization. That's usually your field of specialization that you're going to write about to showcase your knowledge about it, your opinions, your ideas about that. That also can be expressed in comments on your clients' posts, for example, or possible clients or ideal clients' posts that showcase that you also that you have an opinion about the subject, that you are very happy to express that opinion, and that you know about that industry. So that can also be done on social media these days. So this is what it is. You need to think about your priorities. You need to think about what you do. And you need to think if it's really needed, if you really need to have the blog on your website. And then, of course, it is a personal choice. At the end of the day, it's your blog, it's your website, and it's your personal choice. Not everyone likes to write articles. Let's face it, even though we are translators and we spend our days reading and writing, there might be some of us that really don't enjoy writing. One thing is when you look at a text and you convert it into another language. Another thing is to create a text of your own. So it's quite obvious that there might be some translators that really don't enjoy writing. They enjoy doing some other things. And that's fine, particularly. So for those, having a blog in the website and having that obligation to produce that type of content regularly, because they have to keep it regularly up to entice the clients, would be a mammoth task. It will be something highly unpleasant, and that will be difficult for them to do since it's something that they don't like to do it. So think about it. So make that decision, and make the decision that is best for you and for your business. One that you are comfortable with. If you are comfortable about writing articles, by no means go for it and do it. If you think, this is not my cup of tea, I'm not going to like to do this, then leave it out. That does not mean that you're going to miss out on clients. I don't think so. I think maybe 10, 20 years ago, yes, but these days we know that sometimes articles that we see, they are even produced with AI. So they're not even a person that is producing them anymore. It's AI producing the articles, and then the person just post-edited them and reread it and proofread it, etc., etc. So quite frankly, these days, an article does not, in my view, in my personal view, does not show anything anymore, because of all the technology that we have available these days. I never used AI. I don't use AI on my articles. I produce them by myself. It's all coming from my head, but I know a lot of people do, and it's fine. It's perfectly fine if you are comfortable with using AI, if you are comfortable in using that technology and using that to your advantage. Of course, it's there, it's to be used. But as I said, if you really don't enjoy doing it, don't think that you are missing out just because you are not doing it. You just need to find whatever suits you, whatever suits your business, whatever suits your clients. What do your clients like? What type of specialization do you have? And what is usually the activity that people in that field prefer? Are they keen in writing or reading rather articles, or are they more into videos or little presentations? Sometimes you can do your content creation with a very good PowerPoint presentation with a little music, and you put put it on a video, and you just put it on. You don't even need to appear on that video. You don't even need to talk on that video. You just put a nice presentation with a lot of information, and that will actually attract people. They'll say, oh, that's very thoughtful. It just needs to be thoughtful. It just needs to be knowledgeable, because that's what you want to show, your knowledge, your expertise on that particular field. So is it important to have a website with a blog? I would say it's not really the end of the world if you don't have it, but if you really like writing and if you are a copywriter, etc., then it might be relevant. What I think you need to do is think about it, think about your priorities, think about the time that will take you to produce articles, and, for example, the regularity that you would have to do. Is that feasible? Is it not? Would you be happy to do it? You need to think about all this. And if you think, no, this would be too much because I have this amount of work to do, paid work, obviously, and then I would have to take more time to do this, because that would be included in your non-billable hours, in your I would say in your admin time. So think about that. If it's really something that it's going to be more harmful than good, because you are not going to be the best of yourself when you're producing those articles because you are overtired, you are overworked, then it might be just a good option to leave it out. So this is what I think. Think for yourself, think what is best for your business, and make your own decisions. It is not the end of the world if you don't follow exactly what you hear, or maybe what everyone is doing, because if you are still creative and if you have good ideas and if you stick to your ideas, you might just have the solution for a lot of problems. So for today, I hope you like this insider. I hope it really showed you that it doesn't really have to be everything set in stone, and everything needs to be done in a certain way, and everyone needs to follow a certain path and going about things exactly the same way, because I believe we are all different, and each business has its own needs, and whatever might work, for example, whatever might work for me may not work for you. It just depends. It depends on your personality. It depends on what you want to do with your business. It depends massively depends on your specialization. You might work with a specialization that where, for example, articles may not be really relevant, or you might work with one that, for example, if you work with sports and things like that, there might be other activities that you might do that would be more attractive to your possible clients than writing articles, for example. It really depends on a lot of factors, and it's not black and white. It never been. I remember when I was taking a course, I was told back in the day that it would be good to have a blog because it would be a way of showcasing your work. Because obviously we can't put any content of our real work for confidentiality purposes. We cannot disclose any information of the work that we do, and understandably so. So I think if we find other ways of doing this, other ways of still showing our skills, showcasing what we do, showcasing how we can help our clients, but in a way that is nice, that we are comfortable with, that we are happy to do, and that gets the message out and gets the message to them, because that's our purpose, really, then I think that's what we want to do. So it doesn't really need to be what everyone is doing, what everyone wants to do, or what the latest marketing campaigns tell us to do. If you think a little bit outside the box and you come up with something truly creative that really works for you and for your business, who knows, maybe you will start the next trend, and in a couple of months' time, everyone will be following you. Who knows? So I reckon this is really about analysis, most of all, analyzing and knowing your business inside out, knowing everything about your business, knowing your clients, knowing what you need to do, and then you will be fine and comfortable to make these decisions without really thinking much about what others are going to think, but instead what does work for you and for your business. Because if you are going to do something that everyone says it's very trendy, it's very good, but is not working for yourself because you're not comfortable doing it, then it's going to be a fail. Because if you're not comfortable with what you're doing, obviously you're not going to be particularly good at it, because you're not comfortable, you don't like doing it. So think about it. It really needs to be something that you are comfortable with, that you like doing, because that not only showcases your skill, but also showcases who you are. And we all know that if we are doing something that we love, we do it better. So think about it. And obviously this is included in my courses. You know, I have my school, Updated Words Learning at Teachable, and there you can have access to 3 magnificent courses. One shows you a bit of the pathways you can follow to become a translator, either through a university degree, post-graduation diploma, whatever, harvesting possible existing skills in order to change your career, because a lot of translators come to this job as a career change and they have spent many years in another job. And then you can also learn a little bit of the job, the daily life on this job. Then you also have the business course for translators, which will help you prepare your business model, your marketing plan, your financial plan, everything, get your business ready. And in this particular course, that's where we talk about the website and building our tools, etc. However, because I thought in this course, I talk about the tools and building your own tools, but I decided to go deeper on this subject, and I created a 3rd course where I teach you step by step how you can create your own business tools. So, you know, you can access to Updated Words Learning, and you can enroll. And now I have Teachable has enabled the facility of you buying now and paying later with platforms like Afterpay. So you can purchase my courses or plans today. You enroll, you start the course, and you pay in very, very convenient installments. So enroll today and come with me in this adventure of becoming a translator. In regards to this video, you know, put a like and subscribe to the channel with a little click on the bell so you get a notification of a new insider every week. Before I go, I would like to thank you all for watching. See you next week. Thank you. Bye.